Guys, we need to get back in touch with the Star Guardians. This is a case where we need humans. Being a dog isn't going to work.
What can they do that we can't?
Well, maybe picking up a fork, driving a car, using a toilet?
I could use a toilet if I really tried, if I could keep from falling in. The fork thing, though, it might be a stretch.
Yeah, whatever. So, Max, what's up? What do you need the humans for?
There's this new fad that people are going nuts over. It's virtual reality dating. They actually go on a date with their match, but it's safer, since they do it virtually and not in real life.
You all know that I'd kill on that app. By the way, that's a figure of speech young people use. I'm not going to kill anybody. I might bite their ankles if they piss me off, though.
I'm still picturing Frank falling into the toilet. I wonder if that big head of his would keep him from going down the drain.
Who would be mean enough to try to flush me down the drain?
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you would. But you're an asshole.
Can't argue with that. Guilty?
So here's the deal. There's a main player, the head honcho, goes by Cupid X. He or she runs the whole thing. Now here's what's happening. They are playing games with people's heartstrings, getting them overly invested in the other person to the point where the scammer starts asking for money, wiping out their life savings.
That doesn't sound new or different. That's been happening for a long time. They love to prey on lonely people and take advantage of their vulnerability.
That's true. But in this case, it's an entire team of scammers working in a concerted effort to scam multiple hundreds of people. We've been asked to get to the bottom of this and expose Cupid X and take the whole thing down.
Okay, I can see where we need the humans. Not many humans would want to date a dog, but we are good for conversation, except maybe Frank and Olaf.
My vocabulary is at least 3 times the size of yours.
The only thing about you that's bigger is your delusion. Your daddy was a Chihuahua.
No, he wasn't, you jerk. There are no Chihuahuas in my lineage.
Not in mine either. Besides, they're not really dogs, just overgrown rats.
Finally, something we agree on.
Not sure I agree with the overgrown part. I've seen rats bigger than Chihuahuas.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, I'm going to give Nova a call and give him the skinny on this. Plus, they'll need to borrow the VR headsets that are compatible with this dating app.
Yes, this is Nova. Yes, Max, I've talked to the crew and they are raring to go. Plus, they're all single, so they kind of have an ulterior motive. Luna is a little reluctant, but I've made it clear that she's our best bet to get matches. However, we don't know if Cupid X is male or female. We intend to find that out, though.
Good. I'm going to send Stanley and Frank over with the headsets. You'll need to have everyone make multiple dating profiles. We want to get as many dates as we can. The more contact with people, the better the chance that we'll be able to figure out who the main player is.
This sounds so interesting. I'd get involved with it myself, but my wife would cut my balls off. I'd still like to keep them a while longer.
At least as a human, you don't have to worry about being taken to the vet and getting neutered. I like my voice the way it is. I don't want to end up talking like Michael Jackson.
So what's the name of this app anyway? Kind of an important element to know in all this.
It's called HeartSync. You can download it from your app store. I sent you an email with all of the specifics.
It's amazing to me how you can type with paws and no fingers. That would really take some skill. I'm highly impressed.
Well, hate to burst your bubble, but I can't type worth a crap. I use speak and spell or something along that order. Anyway, the info is in the email. Gotta go. Talk to you later.
Thank you for gathering here with me on such short notice. I wanted to touch bases with you and make you aware of what we're looking for and what we're going to be encountering. We are facing a lot of work and a massive convoluted spider's web. Because of Ari's technical competency and experience, I've had him begin the investigative process. Ari, please share with everyone the information you've gleaned that will be beneficial to the rest of the group.
Just in case you're not familiar with these types of internet scams, let me give you a short, well maybe not short, synopsis of how these scammers go about their business. Max, you're no longer wearing your mask, so you can't get away with sleeping during meetings.
Like I did anyway. But if I were to sleep, it would definitely be during one of your speeches.
In all seriousness, though, you're all going to want to pay attention, because the information I'm going to be sharing with you is extremely important.
If Max starts snoring, I'll bonk him on the head and wake his ass up.
There she goes, always talking about asses.
Anyway, let's get down to business. Let's familiarize ourselves with virtual reality, or VR dating scams. VR dating scams involve scammers creating fake personas and engaging with individuals in virtual environments, often through dating platforms or social VR spaces. These scammers exploit the anonymity and immersive nature of VR to deceive and manipulate unsuspecting victims for financial gain or personal information.
I would think that love scams would be super effective because people so often make their decisions based on emotion.
Exactly. That's what makes these kinds of scams so dangerous and so effective. Scammers use advanced technology to create convincing and attractive VR dating profiles. They may utilize AI-generated avatars, deepfake technology, or stolen images to craft personas that appear genuine and appealing to their targets. These profiles often include fabricated backgrounds, interests, and personalities to establish emotional connections with victims.
I've even seen legit people create profiles like that because they think their own pictures and life are so mundane and boring that nobody would be interested. But the thing is, the person they meet for the date is going to learn the truth, which is going to throw a monkey wrench in the works anyway.
Here's what we're going to be looking for initially. We'll begin by tracking reports of suspicious behavior on dating platforms or social VR spaces. We'll look for patterns such as multiple accounts that use identical photos or unrealistic profiles.
I don't think there will be any shortage of those.
I think most profile photos are fake. I've run a lot of photos through Google, and it comes back to some chick in a magazine or something similar. It's too easy to find fake photos or just create them with AI.
True. Okay, if you encounter any of these scammers, there are three main methods they use to try and lure you in. Number 1, emotional manipulation. Scammers exploit loneliness and emotional vulnerabilities to establish trust and intimacy with their targets. Number 2, building relationships. They invest time in grooming victims, building a false sense of connection and affection. And number 3, creating urgency. Scammers often create scenarios that require immediate financial assistance, such as fake emergencies or promises of meeting in person.
What makes that tough to spot is when these professional scammers act perfectly normal, don't rush things, to where things move along normally like any regular relationship. The true professionals know to take their time and not set off any red flags.
Speaking of red flags, that just happens to be my next point. There are 3 major red flags that we need to be watching out for when encountering people online. First off, unwillingness to meet in person. Scammers may avoid face-to-face interactions, citing various excuses. Secondly, requests for money. They may ask for financial assistance under false pretenses, such as medical emergencies or travel expenses. And thirdly, inconsistencies in stories. Victims may notice inconsistencies in the scammer's narrative or behavior over time. It's easy to remember facts when you're telling the truth, but when you're having to make up stories for multiple people, it's a little harder to keep everything straight, even if you're a professional scammer.
What might make this a bit difficult is when you see someone trying to press and hurry you up, but you don't know if it's because they are a scammer or if they're just lonely and desperate.
Tara will have a lot more additional training along that line to help try to determine the difference between a scammer and someone who's just lonely.
Personally, what I've found is that if they are pushing things along and trying to hurry you, if they're willing to meet in person, they're going to be legit more often than not. If they make all kinds of excuses not to meet, they're most likely fakes, and nothing but scammers.
You speak from experience, Max?
Yep, faux shizzle.
Okay, people. Next step. I'm going to have you work with a team of profile experts to develop your profiles. And keep in mind, you'll all be forming multiple profiles, which is going to take a little work keeping all of those straight in your mind. But it will also give you a glimpse of how hard it is for the scammers too. That falls in line with some of our scatterbrain tactics we use to try to confuse them and make them slip up. We'll get into all that in your training.
Well, I say we get busy.
Max, you're such a pervert.
I'm the pervert? You're the one with your mind in the gutter. You knew what I meant.
Yeah, but you're so easy to harass.
Hey, here's an idea. Let's go find some bad guys to harass.
I like that idea. A lot.
Time dogs walking through the ages, solving crimes, breaking cages. Fast as light, heroes show, ancient past, future glow. Balls on the ground, never quit. History's call, answer it. Centuries past, doggy stride. Justice across the tide. Time dogs rolling through the years, fighting fear, no more tears. Dogs always there to save, brave and bold, making waves. From the kings to the astronauts, mystery found, never lost. Solving puzzles, tail wag, victory wave, flag to flag. Echoes are walking in the night, guided by ancient light. Heroes of a timeless breed, brave and all what they need. Time dogs rolling through the years, fighting fear, no more tears. Dogs always there to save, brave and bold, making waves. From the kings to the astronauts, mystery found, never lost. Solving puzzles, tail a wag, victory wave, flag to flag. Echoes are bucking in the night, guided by ancient light. Heroes of a timeless breed, brave and all what they need. Time dogs rolling through the years, fighting fear, no more tears. Dogs always there to save, brave and bold, making waves. From the kings to the astronauts, mystery found, never lost. Solving puzzles,